Listen up, hockey fans. You're in the right place. A no-hold-barred debate between two hockey fans. Stay up to date on current issues in the NHL, even the controversial ones. Welcome to The Debate Hockey Podcast with your host, Brad Burud.
Took over and they've got to find a way to get their mojo back.
They get a goal with 5.8 seconds to go.
It's a weird one. Off the face-off, kick it back. Connor McDavid goes to the net. Yeah, he does. He gets his stick on it just before Jones is able to catch it. Right? Look at that. Look at the eye-hand coordination. Wow.
It is time for the Debate Hockey Podcast, episode 47. It is January 7th, 2019. I am Brad Burud, the host of the show, and I am joined alongside my co-host, Blake Friars. Christmas is over, Blake. New Year's is over. We are back to normalcy.
Mm-hmm.
We did our shows remote during Christmas, and it worked pretty good, but it's sure nice to be back facing each other so when we argue, we can see each other's facial expressions, and the sound is a little bit better, too, but hope you had a good holidays, Blake.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like a long break.
As a student, it went by pretty quick, but...
Shoot. You guys don't know what reality is.
Yeah, it was a nice 3-week break, just to relax, catch up on some sleep, and, watched a lot of hockey, a lot of sports. It was good. We went to Calgary. It was awesome.
Some good hockey games over the Christmas break, and boy, this week, if you look at the schedules, jammed with a bunch of good matchups too. And we're 7 weeks away from trade deadline, and now's when the conversations are going to start heating up, and things are going to start shaking a little bit. And next week, we'll start diving into a little bit more trade talk, and that'll amp up as we go.
I think it's gonna be slow. I think we're gonna wait. We're gonna have to wait for one domino to fall. I think we
don't have that big domino this year. There's multiple big dominoes.
Sergei Bobrovsky question mark?
No, there's multiple ones.
Panarin, I know, but there's multiple. There's a lot of big names, but I don't.
But here's the deal:
we're gonna have to wait for one of them to get traded.
I think that we're gonna see.
There'll be some teams overpaid too.
I think that we'll see a heavy trade deadline. Simply early though, not because there's so many teams that you can look at them already, and it's like, well, they're done. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more sellers early this year, so that'll make it a little bit interesting. But in the weeks ahead, our shows will focus a lot on trade deadline because that is one of my favorite times of year. I like free agency when watching GMs overpay and stuff, but trade deadline, it's exciting because if your team is a contender, you're looking for that piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, but there's a fine line you got to walk.
Well, it rarely works.
When's the last time a big trade acquisition like this is made?
Most of the time, they're no-name depth guys that play a role though.
Yeah.
That play a role, and I think we all dream of the big move that saves the day and wins you the cup, but those are few and far between.
Yeah,
they would really have to look back in history to find. I know there's been some big moves. I believe Claude Lemieux was part of
Gabrick is probably the last one I can think
Claude Lemieux was part of one, I believe, but they're few and far between.
Like when LA traded for Gabrick from Columbus, LA won the cup there, and Gabrick led the Kings in scoring in the playoffs. So that's the last big name that I can think of that panned out in the playoffs.
Well, we'll dive into those as the weeks progress here in the 7 weeks leading up to trade deadline. But today's show, we got a really good show. We'll talk about the biggest surprises in the first half of the season, and then we'll roll on over and talk about superstars skipping the All-Star Game and what our thoughts are on that. And then we got a barrage of different things from Pettersson to World Juniors to Duchene and Hamilton on the trading block to the Oilers to McDavid and the Tampa Bay Lightning. So we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. First off, we'd like to thank our sponsors, CoolHockey.com. Make sure you check out their website. Type in Inside 20 when you go to purchase your new jersey. You'll save 20%. We appreciate their sponsorship. Blake, jersey of the week this week. I got a good one.
You always put me on the spot.
I got a good one.
I always forget to get a jersey of the week.
I got a good one.
Ooh.
You say the same guy every week.
You go first.
I went off the chart a little bit. Oliver Ekman-Larsson is a good jersey.
Yeah.
He is one of the most underrated, forgotten about defensemen in the league He's great. It's just that he's stuck in Arizona.
I think he's forgotten. Everyone knows who he is.
Yes, but nobody talks about anybody on Arizona. Let's face it.
Yeah.
If he was in Toronto right now, how much would we be hearing about him?
Oh, yeah. He'd be the next Morgan Riley. But I don't know.
Morgan Riley can't even.
I like Matt Barzal.
He's a fun player to watch, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. No,
Plus, you get a good Islanders jersey. And where are the Islanders at, Blake? Right in the playoff hunt. It'll be a good show today. Hope you enjoy.
BlueHockey.com. Jerseys online since '99.
Blake, we are at the midpoint of the National Hockey League season.
Mm-hmm.
There's been some surprises in this first half of the season, and we both talked about this pre-show and kind of thought, hey, let's pick 5 good big surprises, and we'll kind of alternate and talk a little bit about them and see, I think it's interesting, the amount of surprises. There was some really good ones, but the first one I'm going to talk about is goals. And the amount of 20 goal scorers we have at mid-season.
I have that one down.
There's 22
Yeah.
20 goal scorers. That's off the charts.
Well, and there's 34 players that are over a point per game. That's unheard of. I've never seen this much point per game scoring in a long time. And especially with the goalies so good and the goalies are bigger and they cover more of the net, and these players are still finding ways to put the puck in the net. It's unreal. It's great.
It's the most since 94, 95 when there was 28.
Yeah.
Get this, 1988-89. At the midway point of the season, there was 83 goal scorers over 20.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Those are back in the days.
There's 5 players that are over 60 points already. That's great. That's the young guys are starting to really take over the whole league, and
that's good and bad.
Awesome. No, there's no cons to that at all. It's
it is if you're a 30-year-old veteran.
They're the ones that bring in the money. If you're a fan, who are you buying? You buying Johnny Gaudreau or are you buying a third liner?
Yeah, well, you know what? In 3 years, we'll be talking about Johnny Gaudreau being too old.
Oh, he'd be 27.
That's what I'm saying. That you know what? Though?
No, but
Blake,
still.
we used to talk about 35-year-olds as being over the hill. Now we talk about 30-year-olds being over the hill.
Yeah. No, but it is.
You know.
It's a young game.
Oh, it is. It is.
If you don't have speed, you're most likely not going to cut it anymore.
Yeah. What do you have for your? I know you have the same one.
Yeah, I have the
as
Islanders.
I do, because that's kind of an obvious.
I have the
one.
Islanders. I was one that read them off. You're the one that predicted them to make the playoffs, and 23-12-4 right now, and they're getting good goaltending from Robin Lehner. And
he's tops in the league.
Thomas Greiss. Yeah, I watched the Islander game against. I think it was against Boston. And Robin Lehner played lights out, and Barzal had 4 points, and they're
gelling as a team. They're 9-1 in their last 10, and I don't know. I predicted them to make the playoffs, and they were my long shot, and everybody's made fun of me, and I will be the first one to admit, hey, we are only halfway there. Yeah. So there's a lot that can happen, but this team.
They play well as a team.
But isn't it funny when teams face adversity, sometimes they pull together a little bit better?
Well, they're realizing that John Tavares didn't want to be their teammate no more. And they took that to heart, I think, and they said, all right, screw you, John Tavares. We're gonna play our hearts out here and show that we're still a good hockey team, and I think they're doing that right now. They're playing with a lot of emotion, and it's translating into points.
And they have a lot of good young talent on that team, and it's going to be fun to watch them progress.
Yeah, Eberle's a UFA. We'll see what direction they go
there. They do have a lot of decisions to make this year.
They do.
They have a lot. So I'll roll on to my second one, and it's kind of a 2-part one.
Sure.
To me, it's a huge surprise that there's 4 Calgary Flames in the top 20 in points. With Monahan, Gaudreau, Tkachuk, and Lindholm.
The only surprise is Lindholm.
Okay, but that's 4 players from one team in the top 20.
It doesn't surprise me.
That's unheard of,
It doesn't surprise me, though.
That's unheard of to have that many.
3 good players.
What's 4 good players?
Yeah, but Lindholm is a surprise. The other 3 don't surprise me at all.
No, I know. Well, Tkachuk does.
No, Tkachuk doesn't surprise me at all. He's a good hockey player.
They're all great hockey players.
Johnny,
but just think though, what's the odds of one team putting 4 in the top 20? That's a lot.
It's a fantastic, but like to see Monahan, Gaudreau, and Tkachuk in the top 20, that doesn't surprise me at all.
No,
especially the first two, because they're franchise players.
No, Monahan and Gaudreau are off the charts. Gaudreau has been absolutely ridiculous.
I watched the guy live, and the guy is just unbelievable. Pucks on the string the whole game.
On the flip side of that, though, let's talk Edmonton Oilers, and they have 2 guys in the top 10.
That's their whole team.
No, but listen. I
would hope so.
Listen to this.
They got to play 30 minutes to compete.
They have. This is crazy. McDavid and Draisaitl are 2 players for the Oilers in the top 10 in scoring.
Mm-hmm.
The Oilers rank 22nd in team scoring.
Yeah.
They have 57 of the team's 118 goals, which makes up 40% of the goal scoring comes from 2 guys. That is a recipe for disaster.
I've been telling everybody this all along. Outside of Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, the Oilers have no scoring. Like I've said this the last 2 years. And people, oh no, they'll come around. Nugent Hopkins is going to break out. No. Nugent Hopkins is a third-line center at best. Maybe a first-line winger. If they have depth, but they don't, so he's got to play center. And the Oilers...
We'll get into the Oilers later in the show.
But when you put Leon Draisaitl with Connor McDavid, who else do you have down the lines? You have
that
nobody.
is so not the plan.
It's they had, just think about this. They had Taylor Hall, Eberle, Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, and Draisaitl. Now they have 3 of them. That is a great. That could have been one of the best young cores in the league, and they somehow messed it up.
Yeah.
How Peter Strelly still has a job
he's on thin ice now.
Mind blowing.
Yeah.
Mind blowing.
Yeah. What's your second one?
My second one, we can talk about Pettersson later, but the rise of Mitch Marner.
Yeah, he's really taken the
Mitch
lead
Marner,
of the Leafs.
Think about this.
Mitch
Marner could make more money than Austin Matthews.
See, that even creates more of a problem in
seriously.
Toronto. How is Toronto?
The better Mitch Marner plays, the more screwed Toronto's down the road.
What happens now?
Mitch Marner can make $13 million, $12 million bucks.
What happened? Well, he's gonna, unless his agent's an idiot. What happens to the Leafs this year when Marner walks in and says, "Yep, I'll take 13," and Matthews walks in and goes, "And I'm right behind him at 11."
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
They're going to have to choose. I don't think.
Well, wait a minute. This is coming from the same guy that told me for weeks and weeks.
But I didn't know Mitch Marner.
Kyle Dubas will figure it out.
I didn't know Mitch Marner would have 100 points. He's on pace for 100 points.
Oh, yeah.
This guy had 60 points last year. You're telling me John Tavares is that much of a difference?
No, it's called maturity.
Mitch Marner drives that line.
Drives the team.
He sets up. Yeah, I know he drives the team.
It's the whole team.
Mitch Marner controls the power play. Mitch Marner sets up John Tavares for all 27 of his goals.
What are they going to do? I told you this all year, and you argued with me and said, "No, Kyle Dubas is a genius."
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Because
unless one of them takes a radical hometown discount, the Leafs are screwed. And you know what? I don't know why. I have no inside information.
Mitch Marner might, because he's from Toronto.
I feel like I have a gut feeling this year there's going to be an offer sheet.
There's going to be. Did you look at the list of RFAs?
There's going to be
multiple offer sheets because GMs are going to feel the heat.
I think Arizona's going to offer sheet.
And Nylander screwed every single GM in the league.
I think Matthews gets offered by Arizona.
No.
It's his home. What does Arizona have to lose?
4 first-round picks?
They don't care. They're not selling tickets anyways. If they got Austin Matthews, they might.
You're telling me if they got Matthews, it'd be a packed house, sold out, 20,000.
No, that's not. I did not say that. Did I say that?
You said it'd sell tickets. I don't think it's. Well, it'll sell some tickets, sure, but
hey, it's got to sell more than they're selling now. And they got.
Think about it. You have you got little prospects as it is.
They have to make a splash. Okay, so let me ask you this then. So if you said, well, no one's giving them 4 first rounders. Well, how are any of these guys going to get offer sheeted then?
Well, they'll get offer. They won't get offer. Well, you only have to give up 4 first rounders if it's anything over 12.
Okay.
I don't think there's only 2 players that are capable.
Okay, so 3.
12.
How many teams can afford to give up 3?
Well, lots can, I'm sure.
Well, lots can give up 4 too. It might not be the best decision, but they can.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like there needs to be a quick fix in Arizona.
I
do. I just feel like it's like, oh my gosh. You want my next one?
Sure.
Tampa Bay Lightning 32-8-2, 66 points in 42 games. They are 10 points ahead of any other team.
I had that on my list too.
1 consecutive saves, but he is a machine when it comes to conditioning. We'll see where it leads him. Nylander found the net. A save by Vasilevsky. What a great glove save there. Hedman saved it on the goal line. Marleau robbed down low. Did he save that with the back of his leg? Let's see what happens here. He's going to go down and watch his legs flip up. Right about here. Yeah, he did. Well, it dropped in between. And then he just, without even, how can you feel the puck with those pads on?
That's 10 points ahead at midseason.
Think about it. You played almost 45 games, and you have under 10 losses?
Mm-hmm.
That's...
in the National Hockey League.
It's...
And their starting goalie went out with an injury.
For 6 weeks. And they're still under... I don't know. I think John Cooper's such a great coach.
Yeah.
And they got such a great system. And they got such an unbelievable power play that's driving that whole streak that just ended. You know, when you can put out Hedman, Stamkos, Kucherov, Braden Point, it's just like, it's like Toronto. It's unfair. The power play is unfair. You take a penalty, you're down 1-0, basically. That's how it is.
And the thing is, what I like about Tampa Bay? To me, there's zero arrogance factor from these players.
Can they get it done in the playoffs?
And I don't know.
That's the biggest question I have for them.
I don't know.
I have them going to the Cup this year against Winnipeg.
I have them winning the Cup. And you know what, though? At least, though, they've made that trek before. As a group, too. Mm-hmm. So they've seasoned a little bit. This team might be for real this year. It might be the Lightning's year. What's your next one?
Well, I got Pettersson.
Well, it is a surprise.
I didn't think
I'm not going to argue with you.
I didn't think he would make this much of an impact. I didn't think he
Who did, though?
I didn't think he would.
I don't think anybody did.
I didn't think he would be this dominant at this age. I think he was going to be a great player down the road. But just the way he can take over games and go end-to-end himself and just create magic out of nothing and just the little stuff he does. Like, watching him live changed my whole perspective of this kid. Because when you watch a game live compared to TV, especially when you're up close to the glass like I was, you notice the little things he does. The 2-foot passes that he makes to get his teammates open. He does the little thing. He reminds me of the Twins a lot. He does. Just the way he passes, how smart he is.
Yeah, no, you're going to get no argument from me. We usually argue about stuff I can.
It's going to be
I worry about one thing with him, and that's it.
But
can he take the rigor of... Because you know what? Teams are going to start...
He played 60 games last year.
I know. But teams are going to start keying on him now.
Yeah.
They're going to... They're going to be dirty as shit.
Well, that's with any star player, though.
I know.
How many times did Johnny Gaudreau get whacked a game?
Oh, I know.
So many
He still
times.
does. I wish he'd shut up, though.
Yeah. He's kind of a baby.
What's your next one?
My next one?
All right. Well, you just went. It's my turn, dude.
Oh, okay.
What am I doing?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? My next one is, and this one has just shaking my head all year.
Sure.
It's the amount of star goalies,
mm-hmm.
that are struggling terrible.
Yeah.
Mike Smith, Carey Price.
Mike Smith, star?
Okay. First, okay.
You want to
starting goalies.
Okay,
starting
there
goalies.
You go.
Mike Smith, Carey Price, Anderson, Jonathan Quick.
Anderson's been hurt though. That's kind of unfair. Oh, Frederick Anderson or
no, not
Craig
Frederick.
Anderson.
Craig.
Yeah, he's been hurt.
Should have. But Quick, Jonathan Quick, Talbot,
mm-hmm.
Jake Allen. Look at their numbers.
Yep.
They're all-time career worsts for them.
Yeah,
There's really been a changing of the guards in goaltending.
Well, look, but the thing is,
Look who the good goaltenders are now. Right now, if I said we had this conversation on the show before the season started, and we went with the canned Vasilevsky, Holtby, Price. We argued the top 5 goalies.
Yeah,
we did that. It was probably episode 20. If we did that now, if I said, Blake, name me the top 5 goalies in the league now,
I couldn't.
what would you do?
I couldn't.
I'd
have to look it up.
Would you say Robin Lehner?
No.
He's the number one. Who would you say, though? Like Vasilevsky, I still think gets the job done. I think John Gibson is a really good goalie. He's got a crappy team in front of him.
How about this? Speaking of goalies, Corey Schneider hasn't won a game in over a year.
A calendar year hasn't won a game.
December 27, 2017.
I wasn't gonna go off about this, but you got me going now. Corey Schneider. On the flip side of that,
what do they do with him? He's making $6 million for the next 3 years.
And this is why I bring this up. I was listening to Sportsnet 960.
Calgary?
Yesterday or the day before, Calgary. And Ryan Pinder, I believe, and Pat Steinberg were talking about what to do with Mike Smith.
Mm-hmm. He's got a year left on his contract.
And one of them was like, well, you just ride him as your backup and you just, you keep him, you let Riddick take the reins and you just keep him there and da-da-da-da. He's been a quality goaltender in the National Hockey League for a long time. And the other one, I believe it was Steinberg. I might be wrong, but I believe it is Steinberg. He's like, no, we need to go get a backup, whether it be, a couple names came up, and we need to have him as the backup, and we need to put Smith on waivers and send him to Stockton.
Really?
Well, is he a National Hockey League goalie? And I agree with this. And here's why I say this. Why does merit earn you that? If Elias Pettersson... Hear me out,
his track record.
Hear me out, though. Hear me out. If Elias Pettersson came up into the National Hockey League this year and didn't have a point right now, he wouldn't be in Vancouver.
No, he'd be in Utica.
Right. Mm-hmm. Why do we have Mike Smith up? If David Riddick had a .89 save percentage, had let in multiple bad goals,
so he'd be in the AHL.
He'd be in the AHL. Mm-hmm. And no one in the organization or the league would think anything of it. But when Mike Smith can't stop a beach ball, has let in numerous goals, has single-handedly cost the team 3 games for sure. That's being conservative.
That's being generous.
I'm being very conservative because it's probably 5, but I'll say 3. What in the world? What more do you need to see?
Who can you go out and get though?
You know what? Right now, who cares?
John Gillies? Is he
no,
better than Mike Smith?
I don't want John Gillies.
They should have started him though.
I agree with you.
You should be starting Mike Smith on a back-to-back.
I don't think Mike Smith should be starting.
Period.
And I hate to be that way because Mike Smith was really good at the beginning of last year. But from mid-season on last year,
something happened to him.
He stinks.
I think, honestly, I don't like doing this, but I think there's something going on in the organization with Mike Smith.
What?
I think
he looks arrogant to me. I mean, he looks like the players on the team like him. And he's always cheering and supportive and everything like that. And he says the right things, but he looks like he's got there's something going on. Like he is not.
Well, it's all mental. It's all mental.
I don't know.
As a goalie, once you lose your game for a long period of time, it's so hard to get back.
But people say, well, we need to ride it out. Calgary's in first place now. You keep riding this out, you're not going to be in first place. Points are hard.
If Dave Riddick keeps it up, you guys will be in first
place. Points are hard to get. You know who I would go get?
When you score 6 goals a game, who cares?
You know who I'd go get?
Who?
Curtis McElhinney. Solid backup in the league. Carolina needs to get rid of people.
Yeah.
They're not re-signing him next year.
No.
He's got a .92 or .923 save percentage.
Yeah.
Go. Plus,
it would cost you a 5th round pick.
He was on waivers this year. I mean, he wouldn't even cut 5th rounder. I don't know.
5th, 6th.
Who cares? So go get him as a security blanket.
Start every 10 games.
Every 7 games.
Yeah.
You don't want to run Riddick dead.
Yeah.
Runs every 7 games, 6 games, depending on back-to-backs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
that's way off topic here.
Going back to Schneider, though,
So you do the same thing.
Send him down?
What do you do? He's not an NHL goalie right now.
He's on IR right now, though.
I know, but he's not playing like an NHL goalie.
I don't know. That's tough.
I mean, you have to win games, right? This is
Do you think there's
if you're a general manager,
do you think
it's
there's
like
a team though that switches a bad contract for Corey Schneider?
okay. Let me ask you right now: how scary does your team have to be for you to go into your owner and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about taking a shot on Schneider"?
Depends what you're giving.
I'm just telling you. Think about that.
Yeah.
That owner would look at you and go, if you want to work here, you're not.
Yeah.
We're not paying that guy that money to watch that many pucks go between his legs.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, that was my goalie one. You're next. Go.
I'm next. Okay, so I want to talk about the biggest surprise is how close the Central Division is right now. At the start of the year, we deemed this division was declining, correct?
How close they are? What do you mean?
Look, Dallas and Colorado are tied for third with 48 points.
Okay.
Then Nashville and Winnipeg 53 and 54.
Yeah.
So Dallas is 3 wins away from first place. How is Winnipeg and Nashville not pulled away?
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
No.
Minnesota's still hanging in there at 43 points.
No, I know.
They're only 5 points out of a playoff spot.
I know.
I just think it's surprising to me that Winnipeg and Nashville haven't pulled away yet.
I don't disagree with that.
I thought they would have been over. They're up there with Tampa Bay. They're that good.
Yeah, but you want to hear another crazy thing? The Islanders are 2 wins away from being first place in the Metro.
Yeah, that's.
I'm just saying it's tight. But you know what? You look at the standings.
I love Gary Bettman.
I know.
Because he keeps everything competitive.
It's called the salary cap, and that's what gives you quality hockey.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. You want my last one?
Sure.
This one will be a quick one. Alexander Ovechkin sits at 30 goals, and I thought after last year that he would take a step back. Not that he's not a good hockey player, but just that he's, okay, I finally have that monkey off my back. People can shut up. I won my cup, and I'm going to just...
No, he's chasing Gretzky's goal record. That's what he's doing.
Oh,
that's the only... Hey, now that he's got his Stanley Cup, if I'm Ovechkin, on the top of my roof while I'm laying in bed, I'm putting Gretzky's goals up there, and I'm marking every single tick after I score. That's the only thing he's got to do. What else has he got to do? He's won a cup. He's got multiple Art Rosses. He's got a Conn Smythe. He's got everything now. Nobody can say shit about him.
Yeah.
He's literally won every single thing.
That's why I thought
except an Olympic gold medal.
That's why I thought
That's the only thing he doesn't have.
I thought he would take the year off.
No, he's chasing that record big time.
Yeah.
He might not say it and go out and say it himself, but inside, oh yeah, for sure that's on his mind, and it's well in reach too. Especially if he keeps this pace up. If he gets 50 goals this year, 50 goals next year, he needs 32 goals the rest of his career.
This is coming from the guy that said this is a league of youth. He's going to age fast.
Okay, listen. Okay, he's 33 years old. Why is Ovechkin still blowing pucks past goaltenders at age 33?
Because he's got a hell of a shot.
You don't lose your shot.
No, but
your shot's still there your whole career.
Yeah, but your body's got to hold up to get you into that spot.
Yeah, and he'll prepare. He'll prepare.
No,
I think he's playing another. I think he's playing another 7 years. He's either playing 7 years or he's playing until he breaks Gretzky's goal record. I'm sticking with it. I think he's doing it.
Give me your next one.
I already said 5.
You already said 5? Oh yeah, we had the same one.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's talk about more Ovechkin stuff.
Sure.
And let's talk about this All-Star voting, and now it's been announced.
I think it's a joke.
And it's been announced that Ovechkin and now Carey Price announced today that he's not going because he needs rest. Here's my thoughts on this, and I'll roll through them quickly.
Sure.
and then you tell me what you think.
Sure.
We're going to see more and more and more and more and more of this.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
And you know what? This kills the All-Star game. The All-Star game...
Good. It deserves to be gone.
Okay, but they won't ever get rid of it.
Why? Why is it there?
Because, you know why?
Oh, because it makes money.
Yes.
I get that.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Okay,
you know what it's turning
They have a better system then, because right now the best players aren't even going to the All-Star game.
It's
Why
like
is Mitch Marner not at the All-Star game?
It's like the Pro Bowl.
And exactly like the Pro Bowl.
It's not even an honor.
Go back to East versus West and have the best players. Yes.
Get rid of it.
No.
Get rid of it.
You just said they're not going to get rid of it. I vote to get rid of it, but it's not going to happen. So go back to East versus West and make sure.
Well, here.
Why does garbage teams have to have a player at the All-Star game?
It's going to get worse.
Why does okay, Barkov's good, but why does Detroit have to have a guy at the All-Star game? They don't have. Dylan Larkin shouldn't be at the All-Star game.
Well, it's going to get worse when we have 32 teams in a couple of years.
Don't even get me going, man.
I
hate the All-Star game with a passion.
I
like the MLB All-Star game the best because if you won the All-Star game, you got home field advantage for the World Series. But now they eliminated that, and now all 4 All-Star games are just a joke. They don't even try.
So do you think that Ovechkin choosing not to go is
that's fine. He's 33. He's old. He needs rest. He just came off the longest season of his career last year.
I don't care though.
He's tired.
So you think it's okay?
Yeah, fine. Dude,
but no,
listen, how many All-Star games has he been to?
Okay.
Almost 10 probably. Give the guy a
So, okay.
If you played I feel here's
the deal. So now Carey Price says
if you played a certain amount of All-Star games, you should be able to say,
oh my God.
I'm not going.
We can't make frickin' rule stipulations
Why not?
for this because he's getting $10 million a year.
So what?
You know what? And if the Stars aren't going to go, then get rid of the game. Because what happens now?
The Stars aren't going anyway.
Now Carey Price says he's not going to go. What happens next week when Elias Pettersson says, "Well, my knee hurts, I'm not going"?
He's not going to go. Vancouver's not going to let him go.
Okay, so we're not.
Why would he go playing if he's hurt? Why if he's out 2 weeks? Why would he go play in a meaningless game?
It's not. But the All-Star game's 3 weeks or 4 weeks away, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Maybe.
But okay, here's the deal. Like, if we aren't... Okay, does anybody give a rat's ass about the NFL Pro Bowl?
No.
When I hear a stat that says, well, he's been elected to 11 Pro Bowls, I'm like, I don't care. That doesn't even mean you're good anymore. It doesn't. It doesn't even mean you're good anymore because guess what? The 3 other cornerbacks that are better than you chose to go to Maui.
No.
It happens all the time in the NFL.
But, listen. In order for the NHL All-Star Game to be successful, you have to have the best players there.
Yep.
There's no reason Mitch Marner should not be in the All-Star Game.
So okay, now let's say you voted. Let's say you change the system, right? And you have all the best players.
Yes.
Okay. And then when Ovechkin says, "I don't feel like going,"
Whatever.
Then Marner says, "I ain't going either." And then Matthews says, "I'm not going. Why would I? I want to go on vacation." And then Carey Price says, "I feel like going fishing." Then what?
I don't know, dude.
So now they have a deal where you get a 1-game suspension, but you get to choose the game.
Yeah, I don't agree with
Holy cow.
It should just be the first game after the break.
Could that be any dumber?
Yeah.
I just think you need to put it in the collective bargaining agreement, and if you're elected to an All-Star game, you have to go.
Unless you get injured.
But you still have to go.
Yeah.
You have to be there for the fans and the media. And if you don't like it, then we need to vote the All-Star game out of the collective bargaining agreement completely. Because none of us care about it anyways.
Yep, no, I could care. I'm not even going to watch All-Star game. I'll watch a skills competition, that's it.
I got a suggestion for the skills competition. Because I think that is something that it should get way, way more. They need to stick with the 4 big ones. The hardest shot, accuracy, speed, fastest skater, and...
relay.
No.
Yeah, the relay.
Hardest shot, the hitting the targets, fastest skater.
The relay, where they have to go through the
yeah,
the
okay,
course,
well, whatever.
the
That.
course.
They need to get rid of this stupid, creative bullshit stuff that they do when they put costumes on and bring kids out of the stands and get rid of all this crap. But do you really want to make this good? You know what you do? You have every team has a skills competition in November. They do. Most teams do.
Yeah.
Okay? So the fastest skater of the Montreal Canadiens, they had to turn them in, their times. and the top 10 or the top 6, whatever you want to do, then
Yeah.
you figure out who the really fastest
who's the
skater
fastest
is.
skater
Because
is.
right now, we're picking the fastest skater out of who's selected as the All-Stars.
Yep.
Well, the fastest skater, Anthony Ciu, is probably the fastest skater in the league.
Yeah.
He's not there.
Yep. No, I agree.
The hardest shot. Shoot, some third pairing guy in Montreal might have the hardest shot. I don't know.
It's Ottawa, 109.
Do you know what I'm saying, though?
Yep.
We don't have that there. We don't know. We have the guys there shooting pucks. They're not probably the hardest shots in the league.
Yeah.
So bring those guys in. That's who should be there.
Yeah.
And then you have 6 to 10 of them, and you make those 4 events go a little longer, put on a good show, and then it's not some this stupid rinky-dink garbage stuff that the league does with that. The league's done so much to grow this game, and they do such a good job. Like, this is an opportunity
Yeah.
that they just keep, like, I don't know. It's just dumb. And then we got to watch an All-Star game,
I'm not watching it.
and
I haven't
it's
watched All-Star
goal,
Game
and
in
it's
2
goal, and it's goal, and it's goal.
It's
and
3-on-3
goal.
too.
I know, just so dumb. All right, let's talk other hockey stuff.
Sure.
We'll roll through these pretty quick.
Sure.
Elias Pettersson injury. Worried about it?
No, I you know,
What are they saying? 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Yeah, it's a slight MCL sprain. You know, he got hooked by Kotkaniemi, and then he kind of reverse hit him, and then he got tangled up. And
Dirty? Not dirty.
no, it's not dirty at all.
I didn't think so either.
That could happen to anybody, and you know,
I don't think-
it's
I think-
unfortunate because he's one of the brightest stars in the NHL. But you know,
Either one of them could have got hurt in my
injuries
mind.
happen. Yeah, that could happen. But the thing I don't like is, like, Canucks fans at it again, giving Kotkaniemi death threats and your career's gonna be, karma's gonna get you. And it's like, dude, like, I get it. I get why the Canucks are upset because, like, if that happened to Mitch Marner, the Leaf fans would have went berserk.
What if that happened to Alexander Barkov?
They would have went berserk. Well, they don't have any fans.
That's not true.
You got me.
Florida has some good fans. They
but-
just don't have enough great fans.
But I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? There's an emotional reaction to the injury, and
People say stupid stuff all the time now, it seems like.
Yeah.
Okay, rolling on. You mentioned karma. And let's talk hockey
get
gods.
outta here with this.
I told you, and Gal, I feel dumb because Don Cherry talked about this
The
week.
hockey gods
But
got us. I get it.
Okay, but you have to tell the listeners that I text you immediately after that game and told you that the hockey gods will not like a 14-0 victory, and the celebrations that were going on goals 10, 11, and 12. The hockey gods don't like that, and that'll bite you in the ass. And you said, not a chance, this is the greatest hockey team. And now Don Cherry says it, but I said it too right when it happened, the night it happened. Didn't I text you that?
You did.
God, it's so fun once in a while when I get to do this. 2 things today. The Islanders and this. Boy, next week will be bad for me. So
Well, I mean, a tap in for Dobson, his stick snaps, and then they go back the other way, and
it was just weird. It was a weird game. But Finland, let's give them credit. They had a good World Juniors. They did.
They're well coached, and
They hung in there too and clutch.
Pekko Uka Luukkonen or whatever the hell his name. Buffalo's got a gem there. I think he's good.
But no, seriously, like that's a hard. They fought hard.
And they got
whole
they
World
got
Juniors.
5 17-year-olds on that team.
I know.
They're gonna be good next year too.
That's a good crew.
And the B pool next year. Guess who's in that pool? U.S., Russia, Canada, Czech, and Germany. That's a tough pool.
We'll see.
That's a tough pool.
Yeah.
That's a hard pool.
Rolling on to little CBA talk as the Union and League are set to meet in Vegas this week. We won't talk long about it, but my first response when I heard it was, that's good. I know they need to talk a little bit about escrow. Mm-hmm. I don't think a lot will change. I'd love to see this.
I'd love to see another 50-50 split.
Well, I don't think that's going to change.
That's the way to go. Yeah.
But, I mean, this is a pretty fair collective bargaining agreement. I'd like to see this extended, maybe with a few tweaks. Mm-hmm. But this is pretty fair to the players.
Yeah, no, it is.
And
it's
pretty
great.
fair to the owners. Yeah, I think this is set up pretty well here.
It's great.
Be
It's
interesting
good
to
that
see.
they're talking right now, though.
It is.
Rather than wait,
Matt Duchene, Dougie Hamilton, both rumored to be on the trading blocks. Will Ottawa let go of Duchene, and will Carolina send Hamilton to the next team?
What a backfire for the Ottawa Senators. They trade Kyle Turris. They trade Jack Hughes because they're gonna get last place. They're gonna trade Jack Hughes to the Colorado Avalanche, and they're gonna be a hell of a team next year. And they get nothing. They get Duchene, and Duchene's not even going to stay there. What a mess.
I don't know.
What a
That's
backfire.
crazy, because I kind of had heard that Duchene was really serious about staying there.
Would you want to stay there if you're Matt Duchene? No. Not a chance in hell am I staying in Ottawa. No way.
I don't think I would.
No.
And I have nothing against Ottawa.
You can give me $10 million. I'm still not signing in Ottawa. I'll go sign in Montreal or something for $3 million less. I don't care about the money if I'm Matt Duchene.
I don't know. I'm interested to see where he lands. I don't know. We'll talk more about that next week. But
yeah.
What's your thoughts on Dougie Hamilton being on the block again?
Oh man,
something's up with him.
This guy is a cancer.
Well, here's the
wherever
deal.
he's been.
You know what?
Wherever he's been. Yeah, he puts up points, but he doesn't.
He's a horrible defenseman.
He doesn't play defense.
And now Toronto wants him.
No.
No,
that won't happen.
Well, there's talk.
What are you going to give up for him?
What are you going to have to give up for him?
Toronto has problems with defense as is. Why would they bring a pylon the next? He's going to be the right-handed shot Dion Phaneuf back there.
I'm with you. But you know what? Isn't it funny?
Hell no, my.
Isn't it funny though how people think Dougie Hamilton is a good defenseman? They do. The hockey world thinks he's a good defenseman. I told you when he was in Calgary, how many nights did I freak out when he was in Calgary because of his pizzas up the middle?
He's got a good shot. He's going to get you power play goals.
He puts up points, but
that's about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But what is Carolina doing?
They're trading.
They're trading a 21-year-old.
Carolina wants to have fun.
Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. They trade a 21-year-old Hannafin who hasn't even hit his peak yet. And they trade Lindholm, who is off the charts in Calgary right now, for Furlan and Hamilton, and now they want to trade both of them? Are you kidding me?
They got two coaches. They have two former coaches coaching in the All-Star Game, too, and Paul Maurice and Bill Peters.
Oh, my God.
I'd be like signing up to leave there. Jeez. It's good luck if you leave Carolina.
I guess.
All right, moving on to the Edmonton Oilers. Talk about more troubles.
Yeah, we've already touched on this a bit. You know, they're just not a deep hockey team. And no, it's showing. They're 3-7.
Are they done or not? Now they won. Do you think they're done?
They're done.
I had them in the playoffs. I predicted them to make the playoffs, and this is the first time I'm going to go under.
They got off to a great start with Hitchcock. They're 9-2-2 under Hitchcock, and it seemed like Hitchcock breathed new life into the Oilers, and they were playing good defensively, and all of a sudden Koskinen started to struggle really bad.
And Talbot's
still horrible, and now they've won 3 of their last 10 games, so they're done.
They are 2 points out of a playoff spot.
They're toast. I think they're done.
They're going to have to put together a strong 6-8 run or 6 out of 8 run or
10 out of 11 run or something.
They're going to have to do something. But you know what? I'm a firm believer you can't win without defense and goaltending, and they don't have either one. So that's going to be tough. McDavid, he's been getting abused and used a little bit. Last night he got ran from behind by Lindholm. No call on the play.
And the ref looked right at it.
I know.
Are you kidding me? That's the NHL's best player.
I don't care who it is. That was a checking from behind.
There's no hearing.
In a very bad spot, too. Very bad spot. That's a broken neck spot. And you know what?
And that's the same play that McDavid broke his collarbone on. Behind the net. Same distance away.
But McDavid was on a breakaway on the broken collarbone.
Same distance away from the boards.
Yeah.
Hit it into the boards like that, you could have broke his collarbone.
Could have broke his neck.
Dangerous.
Now, a couple nights earlier, Drew Doughty, Saturday night, gave him an elbow to the face, which pissed me off. And I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why it pissed me off. Because Drew Doughty threw a holy shit fit when Matthew Tkachuk did that to him and called him out, and it was no different. But that being said, Doughty goes to the bench laughing and joking about it, and no Edmonton Oiler had anything for him. Said a thing or did anything about it.
Well, he got Big Bad Lucic for $7 million.
You know what's going to happen? One of these days, McDavid's going to be like, piss on it, I'm coming after somebody.
Oh, I don't think so.
He's going to have, I don't know. It's frustrating. Mm-hmm. Tampa Bay Lightning, they got this unbeaten streak going in regulation.
Oh my God. It ended.
Yeah, it did.
It did, and
it did end
2 games ago, and they just started another one. But they were.
Is this team?
They were 13-1-2.
Yeah, 13-1-2. Yep.
What a run! And they scored 5 goals a game on that streak. Their power play was over 50%.
This team
That's unheard of. That's an unheard of streak.
This team's for real.
They are for real. They're good.
They're good in a lot of ways.
Great team, great defensively, great goaltending, and their forwards. Like, what more can you say about them? Braden Point is just taking over the offense, and it's like, oh, why isn't Stamkos producing? Yeah, Stamkos is flying under the radar because you got Kucherov, and you got Braden Point playing like superstars. It's great.
Fun team to watch. You're a hockey fan and you love your team and its players. At CoolHockey.com, they get that. That's why they offer high-quality NHL jerseys at competitive prices. They've been in business since 1999, customizing jerseys to NHL specs and to give you the quality work you will not find anywhere else. Cool Hockey is the #1 place to get NHL jerseys with shipping available to any country in the world. Head to CoolHockey.com now and use promo code INSIDE20 for 20% off your next jersey purchase. It's time for 3 questions. Blake, it's time for our favorite part of the show, 3 questions. It's your turn this week to fire 3 questions at me, and we'll jump into a listener question that we got tonight. But first off, did you see that penalty shot that Matt Strome in the Ontario Hockey League had?
I did.
He comes in on the penalty shot, lights flicker, goes dark for a second, kind of flicker off and on. He scores on the penalty shot. He's forced to take another shot because of the lights flickering, and he doesn't score on that one.
He was fouled, and he did not get a shot away. It checked all the boxes for a penalty shot. And here comes Matt Strome. Down the middle of the ice, little step to his right, working into the backhand, he scores! Matt Strome goes upstairs on the backhand. It's a 3-1 Bulldogs lead.
This one may be done again. Yeah, somebody jumped the gun on the lighting here in the building, and it started to flicker as Strome was coming in. And the Ice Dogs are going to argue that they've got a case here, and they might.
Now, hold on. Both players have to deal with the same issue.
Yeah, and that's what I'm sure they're discussing. There you see them flicker just as Strome comes in to make the move. This one's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I got my take on that.
Cool, I want to hear it.
Because, okay, so it's 1-on-1, correct?
Yeah.
Penalty shot.
Well, yeah, player against goalie.
He's at the hash marks. He makes a move. Strome still has to deal with the lights as much as the goalie. I think it's harder to score with the lights off than the goalie is to stop it. Because the goalie covers most of the net.
I watched it, 3 times, and it got black for like a second. But
it doesn't cause that much of a difference for our goalie.
You know what's going to happen now, though.
Teams are going to do it all the time.
Every small-town junior rink.
Fuck the lights here. Like, no, it's stupid. It should have counted. It should have counted.
It was just a good one. But let's go. 3 questions. Your turn.
Okay, we talked about this with McDavid. Why does the NHL fail to protect star players? Why doesn't the ref call a penalty right there?
Here's the deal. I don't think the question should be, why does the league fail to protect star players? I think it should be, why does the league
protect all players?
I don't know. I think we have a real disconnect in the officiating. But here's an example. When an official... God, please, nobody write this down. I'm not defending the refs, okay? What happens, though, is I think the refs, if they jump the gun and call something too big, they get crucified.
Like what? You're telling me if the refs call a penalty on McDavid, they're going to get crucified?
No.
Oh.
So if there's a soft interference play and they give a guy a 5 in a game, the first thing a fan says is, well, my God, that's 2 minutes interference. What's that official thinking?
Yeah.
But if they ring a guy up and we watch the video and be like, oh, geez, I don't know if that really should have warranted a 5-minute major, then we're on the ref again. But if they don't call it, like the McDavid thing last night, then we're like, well, what the hell is that ref thinking?
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're ever really happy with the officials.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Tough job.
Here's the deal. What's the number one most important thing? Safety.
Mm-hmm.
I can live with them erring on the side of safety. So if I got to live with a 1-game suspension to my guy, or not even that, because the league will review it, and if it was a bad call, they just won't give the suspension. But if I got to deal with a 5-minute major or a game misconduct on my guy, then so be it.
Yeah.
Because that might save me in the end somewhere along the line where it happens the other
You'll
way.
get a call.
I just think the officials need to err on the side of caution. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I do. I think that's the way we got to go.
Sticking with Edmonton, when is enough for McDavid? He is rotting in Edmonton right now. Do you ever think he'll request a trade? Gretzky was traded.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
You don't think this guy is going to get sick of losing?
I think he's sick of it right now.
So we'll do something about it. Why doesn't he go up to... Why don't players, if they're in bad situations...
Don't even say, why don't players go to owners? Don't
No,
say
I said
that.
GMs.
They do. You don't think...
If I was Connor McDavid right now, I would ask for a trade.
Got friggin' harebrained agents like Alan Walsh sending out tweets about Michael
But listen,
Frolik, who's on a first-place team in the league, and he's pissy because Frolik's not playing top 6 minutes when Frolik's a freaking grinder defensive forward. This happens. GM's phones freaking ring every day with agents and players bitching. But I don't know. How do you go knock on the door in Edmonton as Connor McDavid, the face of the team, face of the franchise, and say, listen, I give up on you guys, I want out. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't lay in bed at night and dream about that. I just don't see it happening.
It makes you wonder.
Oh, he's got to be off the charts pissed.
Like this guy,
but okay,
Peter Chiarelli. How does this guy have a job?
No, this is more than Peter Chiarelli.
No, this is all Peter Chiarelli because yes, it is.
No, this mess started a decade ago.
Oh no, it goes back to Kevin Lowe and all those.
This mess started a decade ago.
Yeah, for sure it did.
Chiarelli inherited a big pile of dog turds and has generated the dog turds into horseshit.
For real. No, it's like...
That'll be my quote of the week there, too. Yeah. But, like, this is not a quick fix.
No, that's what I'm just saying.
If Edmonton
Why does this guy want out?
If Edmonton fans think that in the next 3 years they're a cup contender, they've lost their mind. Mm-hmm. They're going to have a miracle happen.
Last question. Besides Peter Chiarelli, besides the Edmonton Oilers, what team has the most pressure heading into the trade deadline?
The most pressure to fill a hole?
Fill a hole or sell?
Oh, that'd be two different things. I think
it's a two-part question.
Yep. So let's do sellers first.
Sure.
I think the team that faces the most pressure that needs to save some face, and that is Ottawa.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree with that.
Now, I think buyers... Do you know who I think is going to be the biggest buyer this year?
Like that has the most pressure? To buy. Has the most pressure to buy. Like they're on the fence for the playoffs and they got to buy.
Well, on the fence for the playoffs or on the fence to win a cup?
Both. Like which team...
Do you know what...
Which playoff contender has the most pressure to do something?
Can I give you two of them?
Sure. The
second one's going to surprise you a little bit. I think Boston has to do something.
There was talks about them getting Braden Shen. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. I think Boston has to do something. You want to know who the other one I think is going to do something?
Who?
And do something big?
Who?
The Vegas Golden Knights.
Oof, another splash.
They have the draft picks to do it.
They do. They have a first
and the team is red hot. And things are only getting better, and, man, they don't have a lot of depth scoring in my mind, but they're still winning hockey games.
No.
So if you could add some offense to that team,
Back to Shane?
watch out. No, I'm serious. I think that's a team that we're going to be like, at the end of the deadline, we're going to be like, holy moly, look at this team now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, let's roll on to the listener question. Tonight's listener question comes from Jasper, Alberta. Shelby Pettersson writes, what team will be the biggest sellers from now until deadline?
Want me to go first?
Sure, I just said mine a minute ago. I think it's Ottawa. I think Ottawa is going to be moving guys left and right. I have two other ones that I will bring up, though, too.
Mine is obvious. It's the St. Louis Blues. I think they're going to blow it up. I think Tarasenko is going to be traded.
Oof, I don't think so.
I think Braden Shen's going to be traded.
I think he'll be traded.
They might even I think Jake Allen's got to go. He's not the guy. I don't
Okay,
think anybody.
who's knocking on the door
I don't
for
think
Jake
anybody
Allen?
will take him, but I would possibly even try to trade Pietrangelo, Colton Parayko maybe. You got to stockpile draft picks. You got to get prospects. You got to rebuild this team. I mean, Jack Armstrong has got to be pissed right now. He went out and spent millions of dollars. He brought in Ryan O'Reilly, Tyler Bozak, David Perron, Patrick Maroon to solidify the.
You mean Doug Armstrong?
Yeah, sorry, my fault. And Doug Armstrong. He's got to be pissed. He's got to be really, really pissed.
Well, sure. He's got a bunch of underachievers right now.
Yeah.
You know, two other teams that I kind of put on the radar when I read this question that Shelby sent is Ottawa stuck out first to me, but I think Carolina and Philly will be also very active.
Sellers?
Yeah.
Who's Philly going to sell?
Simmons?
That's the only guy I would sell, though. So
I don't
think they're going to be a major seller.
No, you're probably right.
I don't see him trade Couture. I don't see him trading Drew. I don't see him trading. Nobody taking JVR's contract.
They're not getting rid of the Provorovs and those guys.
Yeah.
They'd be stupid to do that.
I think Simmons.
Yeah, you're probably right there.
Simmons is the only guy. Probably.
Okay, I'll say it one time today. You're right, Blake.
Thank you.
Thanks to our listeners for the questions. We appreciate it each and every week. We do send off T-shirts to our listener questions. So fire questions to Blake and I on Twitter at Inside Edge Hockey, and we will answer the best one every week on the show. Thanks again for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Enjoy this week's hockey action.
Inside Edge Hockey News. Dropping the gloves. And stirring the pot.
Thanks for listening to the Debate Hockey Podcast. Check out InsideEdgeHockeyNews.com for all your hockey news. Follow us on all forms of social media, and make sure you download the Debate on your favorite podcatcher. Check us out on Spreaker, SoundCloud, iTunes, iHeart, and YouTube. A special thanks goes out to our sponsor, CoolHockey.com. Make sure you check out their website, use promo code INSIDE20, and save 20% off your next jersey purchase. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoy this week's hockey action.
Saved by Anderson. Couturier, the sweep set up. Gibson robs Tierney. Save of the game.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Debate Hockey Podcast with your host, Brad Burud. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit InsideEdgeHockeyNews.com and on Twitter at InsideEdgeHOCKE and Facebook at Inside Edge Hockey News. We'll catch you next time.
This has been a production of Inside Edge Hockey News Radio, copyrighted and distributed by the Inside Edge Hockey Media Group.